Welcome to the Empowered Life. I am your friend, Ern Inyon. This podcast aims to inspire you to create the life that you want to live. If you are not yet a subscriber, be sure to subscribe and get notified when a new episode is posted. Now let's go on with the show. Hi everyone. Last week I watched the documentary of Bill Russell in Netflix. For those who don't know him, Bill Russell was a basketball star in 1960s. He played with the Boston Celtics, and during his time, he won 11 world championships in 13 years. A feat up to now has never been broken, and I don't think it will ever be broken, not in the next 30 years. He was a great basketball player, known for his defensive skills. But what made Bill Russell such an important person in history is that he was also an activist and fought against racial discrimination. Discrimination is a problem that plagued humanity ever since humanity existed. Discrimination takes many forms: race, color, religion, social and economic status, gender, people with disability, and so on. Where there is discrimination, there is also an abuse of power. It is everywhere. Discrimination has been the cause of domestic violence, oppression, and war. But all discrimination, in whatever form it is rooted on the same problem. When what is yours become you. Allow me to explain. Let's talk about material possessions. This microphone in front of me is mine. I bought it from my neighbor 2 years ago at a cheap price of only $800. It is mine, but it is not me. This MacBook Pro is mine. Well, this is expensive. I bought it more than $150,000 5 years ago. It is mine, but it is not me. All the bags, watches, or gadgets that you own, whether they are brandless or Louis Vuitton or Hermes, Seiko or Rolex, Vivo, Samsung or Apple iPhone, those are just yours, but they are not you. All the cars that you own, regardless how cheap or expensive they are yours, but they are not you. Your house, no matter how small or big it is, whether you live in an alley somewhere in Tondo or along McKinley Drive in Forbes Park, well, your house is yours, but it is not you. Your money in the bank, whether you have just enough to meet the average daily balance or millions in time deposit, that money is yours, but it is not you. Let's talk about education. Whether you just finished grade 3 in a small town public school or have a PhD degree in Harvard, whether you read a book or a million books, the knowledge that you stored in your mind, that knowledge is just yours to use and share. But your mind is not you. Whatever you think is just a construct of your mind based on your memory, but your thoughts are not you. Let's talk about sexuality. Sexuality is one of the first areas of discrimination. Whether you are male, female, gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, queer, or whatever, what else do you want to call it? The origin or cause of your sexuality can be by birth, pathological, or simply by preference. Your sexuality is not you. In the olden times, women and children are not even part of the statistics. Women had no right to vote, and in some countries, women are not allowed to show their faces. Women have been marginalized and treated as inferior. Let's talk about race and religion. Here in the Philippines, we are a predominantly Catholic nation. If I was born to an Indian family, for instance, in New Delhi, my religion would have been different. If I was born in Afghanistan, my religion would have been different also. My parents were Protestants. I would have been Protestant also. But regardless where you were born, but what religion or no religion at all, that is not your nationality or religion. That is not you. Let's talk about social or economic status. Education is highly correlated to your economic status. If you graduated in good schools, you have a higher chance of having a comfortable life. If my parents did not work hard enough to send me and my brothers to good schools, there could have been, a greater chance that we weren't able to have access to this information that led us to where we are now. Some of us are owners of businesses, president of multinational companies, a high-ranking government official, and so on. Whether you were born to a poor family or rich family, whether you are a janitor of a small restaurant or a CEO of Apple, your status is just a combination of your knowledge and character, and the result of years of work. But regardless of your status and position, your status and position are not you. Let's talk about physical features and attributes. If my sister-in-law Chi was born to a Russian family, all her features, facial features, including her nose, would have been sharp. If I was born to an African family, my hair would have been kinky and the color of my skin would have been black as coal. Regardless of your features, that is not you. When I was in high school, I was very athletic. I was slim. I swam 100 laps in an Olympic-sized pool and had six-pack abs. Now, I am a bit sluggish, and as I gained a lot of weight during this pandemic, and instead of six-pack abs, I have party-pack abs. So, I know that if I watch my diet and do exercises regularly, my weight will go down and become slimmer and healthier. Many people are so conscious about their body and the way they look. Well, we need to take care of our body. But whether you are thin or fat, that is just the result of all the food that you ate combined with your metabolism. So your body is not you. All the things that I mentioned to you are what we gathered during our lifetime. All of us were naked from the start and will leave naked again. So what you gathered cannot be you. Discrimination begins when we anchor our identity and start comparing what we gathered and label them as superior and inferior. It is tough not to compare because we allowed people to put value into material possessions, skin color, language accents, and physical attributes. Here in the Philippines, we were colonized by Spain and the Americans for quite some time. So our culture is biased or patterned after the West. Many Filipinos want to bleach their skin and have that California accent because they believe having white complexion is superior. Many Filipinos have inferiority complex because their nose is flat. They don't they don't need other people to discriminate them. They discriminate themselves. We grew up watching Hollywood, so we tend to agree whatever Hollywood endorses, we believe it is superior. But in fairness to Hollywood lately, you can see in movies that they are taking a global stance. The movie Black Panther, for instance, is relatively an all-black movie, except for the English actor Andy Serkis. More Asian actors are taking part in big-budget movies, and more women are portrayed as the heroine instead of the usual victim. If you believe you are superior, there is the risk to abuse. And when the tide turns against your favor, you will feel inferior. We have to see everyone as equals, not higher, not lower. Do not look up on people, do not look down on people. I know we usually say I look up to a person to mean you admire that person. But there are instances that some people, when they look up, they start looking at themselves as small or down. They deflate themselves. If you have this problem, you are discriminating yourself. It is envy that is working, not admiration. If it is truly admiration, you will get inspired and motivated. What we need to understand is that whatever we gather in life will never increase our significance. We need to remember always that the only purpose why we work hard to achieve higher education, to learn more, to acquire more resources, is to increase our capacity to love. When you have this mindset, then everything you do will be driven by love. You will start to love not based on color, gender, race, social status, and religion. You will start to see the soul of every person and not get distracted by the clothes they wear or the gadgets they use. You will be more grateful for all the things that you have and see every chance as an opportunity to love. If everyone understands this and put into practice, all forms of discrimination will end. All forms of abuse will end. We need more leaders to be driven by love, not by significance. We need leaders who advocates for equality, not for superiority. And lastly, we need leaders who uplifts people, not by material possessions, but by the character of their soul. To end this episode, I will leave you with these questions to reflect on. Do I think of myself as superior, inferior, or neutral? When I pursue something, do I do it to increase my capacity to love or my significance? Thank you so much for listening, friends. Please rate and review this podcast and share it to your friends. Until next time, blessings always.